For millions of years, an invisible enemy has shaped the course of life on Earth. It's not an animal, not a plant, not even a bacterium. It's a virus, a biological enigma that exists on the very edge of life. Today, we're journeying from the deepest shadows of our past to the brightest frontiers of modern medicine, exploring the human story of viruses and our relentless fight to defeat them. Where did these mysterious agents come from? The truth is, we don't know for sure, but there are a few leading ideas. The escape hypothesis suggests viruses are rogue pieces of genetic material that broke free from cells. The reduction hypothesis proposes they were once complex organisms that shed their features until they could only survive by hijacking others. And the virus-first hypothesis imagines them as ancient relics from a time before cellular life even existed. Whatever their origin, one thing is certain. Viruses have been here since the beginning, acting as powerful drivers of evolution. They've triggered genetic innovations, transferred genes between species, and even contributed to the development of our own immune systems. Believe it or not, some of the DNA that makes you human actually came from ancient viruses that infected our ancestors millions of years ago. Long before we knew what viruses were, humanity felt their devastating power. Ancient texts from Egypt and China describe terrible outbreaks that sound eerily similar to smallpox and measles. For thousands of years, civilizations faced these invisible killers with a mix of fear and confusion, relying on isolation and spiritual rituals for protection. Humanity was fighting a war in the dark, against an enemy it couldn't see or understand. Everything changed in the late 19th century. Scientists were puzzled by a disease affecting tobacco plants. They found that the infectious agent was so small it could pass through filters designed to catch bacteria. A Russian scientist named Dmitry Ivanovsky and a Dutch scientist named Martinus Beijerinck independently made this discovery, naming the new agent a virus, Latin for poison. This was a monumental realization. Life could exist in a form far simpler and stranger than anyone had ever imagined. With this discovery, a hidden world exploded into view. Scientists soon learned that viruses are everywhere, infecting every living thing on the planet, from animals and plants to fungi and even bacteria. We discovered an incredible diversity of viral strategies. Some, like the flu, are hit-and-run attackers. Others, like herpes viruses, become lifelong quiet companions. Some are deadly killers, while others are completely harmless. This vast, unseen kingdom had been influencing life all along, and we were just beginning to map its territories. Humanity's early attempts to fight back were clever, even without understanding the science. The ancient practice of variolation, for example, involved exposing healthy people to material from smallpox sores to induce a milder infection and subsequent immunity. It was risky, but it was one of the first steps toward what would become our greatest weapon: vaccines. In the late 1700s, an English doctor named Edward Jenner noticed that milkmaids who contracted cowpox, a mild disease, never seemed to get smallpox. He famously used this observation to create the world's first vaccine. Jenner's breakthrough was revolutionary. It marked the dawn of targeted prevention and laid the foundation for modern immunology, saving countless lives. The 20th century propelled us into the molecular age. With the invention of the electron microscope, we could finally see a virus. These ghostly, intricate structures were no longer just theoretical concepts. We began to unravel their secrets, decoding their genetic material, whether DNA or RNA, and mapping out exactly how they hijack our cells to make more copies of themselves. Each discovery was a piece of the puzzle, giving us the knowledge we needed to design our next weapon: antiviral medicines. Creating antivirals was a huge challenge. Unlike antibiotics, which target bacterial cells, antivirals had to be incredibly specific. They needed to stop a virus without harming our own human cells, a bit like trying to disable a tiny hijacker inside a complex machine without damaging the machine itself. But brilliant scientists rose to the occasion. The development of drugs for HIV in the 1980s and 90s was a turning point, transforming a death sentence into a manageable chronic condition. Soon, effective antiviral treatments for influenza, hepatitis C, and other viral diseases followed, giving humanity a powerful new arsenal in our ongoing fight. The modern era has been defined by rapid global outbreaks. Pandemics like HIV, AIDS, SARS, Ebola, and of course COVID-19 have tested our public health systems and scientific capabilities like never before. Each outbreak has been a harsh lesson, but also a catalyst for incredible innovation. The race to develop a COVID-19 vaccine led to the rise of mRNA technology, a revolutionary platform that allows us to create vaccines faster than ever before. Today, viral research is not just about reacting to outbreaks, it's about predicting them, preparing for them, and building a global defense system to protect all of humanity. So, what have viruses taught us? They've shown us how fragile life can be, but also how incredibly resilient. They are agents of destruction, yet they are also sources of profound biological insight. This eternal struggle between our species and these microscopic invaders has pushed the boundaries of science, forcing us to innovate and understand ourselves on a deeper level. The battle isn't over. Viruses continue to evolve, and new ones will inevitably emerge. But the future is bright. Scientists are now working on universal vaccines that could protect us against entire families of viruses, like all strains of influenza. They're developing broad-spectrum antivirals that could work against multiple different viruses at once. And technologies like gene editing might one day allow us to completely eliminate certain viruses from our DNA. By studying viruses, we learn about the fundamental rules of life, evolution, and our own place in the intricate web of biology. This epic story of shadows and cures is a testament to human ingenuity and our unyielding drive to overcome the greatest challenges. If you found this journey through the world of viruses as fascinating as I did, please consider supporting our channel. It's your curiosity and engagement that allow us to create more content like this. Hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to join our community of learners. Thank you for watching.